A pedestrian was badly injured after being hit by a car. It happened in Stoddard County, Missouri. Highway patrol officers there say that took place last night. The pedestrian was taken to a nearby hospital. New at 5, a Missouri State Highway Patrol officer uses his cruiser to stop a wrong-way driver. Take a look at this amazing police footage. And you can hear that crash just a moment ago. It happened in St. Louis County. Officials say the trooper was on patrol when he noticed the wrong-way driver. As you can see, the trooper then rammed his car into the oncoming car. Police say the driver was not injured and arrested for a DWI. The trooper only suffered minor injuries. And caught on camera tonight, a FedEx plane had to make an emergency landing after catching fire. Take a look at this video. It happened on Saturday. That plane made the emergency landing at the Newark Airport in New Jersey. Authorities say a bird hit one of the engines, which led to the fire, but thankfully, no one was injured. Some upcoming construction on the I-24 Ohio River Bridge will likely impact your commute. Now, that project kicks off on Monday. Officials say they'll reduce the interstate to one lane in both directions. During the closure, they say drivers should use what they call the, quote, dynamic zipper merge. That's when drivers use both lanes of traffic and take turns merging every other vehicle in a zipper-like fashion into that open lane. So the construction is starting on Monday, expected to last until mid-October. New at 5, the Dorena Hickman Ferry is back open after river levels dropped. Officials with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet say the ferry closed in January due to high water levels in the Mississippi River. They say the ferry is now back on its winter schedule, with the last run from the Kentucky SID sits at 4:15 p.m. The latest run from the Missouri side at 4:30. To weather now, a cooler day across our region. You're looking live over at Carbondale as we await nightfall. To wrap up this weekend, we saw some sunshine earlier today, but probably still likely want to grab a jacket if you've got to get out for any reason, maybe for some of those last-minute errands before the start of the work week. I'm joined now by Storm Track 3 meteorologist Nick Boynton. Nick's been in the weather lab all day for us. He's been busy. We know you're tracking those cooler temperatures entering our region.
Yeah, absolutely. We have those cooler temperatures staying with us right now. Eventually, we'll start to warm things up over the week, and we'll see some unsettled weather later on this week. We'll have more on that coming up later. But right now, it's can't ask for better weather than this, right? Full sunshine across the area here on all of our sky cams. So blue skies as far as the eye can see. And of course, those temperatures staying quite cool as well overall. Temperatures today staying in those 40s across the area. We're at 41 right now in Harrisburg, 45 in Carbondale, 42 in Mount Vernon. You're at 46 in Paducah, 45 in Cape Girardeau, 46 in Sikeston, and we're at 46 for both Union City and for Kennett. So overall, all of us seeing, of course, that cooler weather today. That hourly forecast as you head throughout the evening, temperatures will once again tumble down into those 30s, especially with the clear conditions. Still got that southeast breeze around 5 miles per hour, but our temperatures will crash down to the low 30s, eventually getting below freezing tonight into the upper 20s as you wake up tomorrow morning. Warmer weather is on the way, though, and also a chance for some of that unsettled weather coming on Tuesday. We'll give you the latest details on that coming up in my full forecast here in just a bit.
Thanks, Nick. We're looking forward to that full forecast, as he mentioned, that coming up in just a bit. Also coming up is an event scheduled to remember one of the worst natural disasters our area has ever seen. We're talking about the tri-state tornado. It's regarded as the deadliest tornado in U.S. history. That storm ripped across Missouri, Indiana, and Illinois on March 18, 1925. That twister devastated communities like Murfreesboro, where nearly 300 people lost their lives and thousands of homes were destroyed. This year marks the 100th anniversary of that deadly event. The Jackson County Historical Society will host a series of events to commemorate the day. It'll start March 13th and run through the 18th. We've got much more on this story. You can check it out by visiting our website. That's WSILTV.com. Evacuations are underway in both North and South Carolina as those states battle raging wildfires. The Carolina forest fire just north of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina doubled in size to 1,200 acres overnight and is 0% contained. Officials issued a statewide burn ban on Saturday. The fire threat continues for that region, including near Wilmington, North Carolina, and Charleston and Columbia, South Carolina. Still ahead here on News 3 at 5. Ukrainian president, there he is, Volodymyr Zelensky, met with European leaders in the UK. This days after a controversial meeting with President Donald Trump. All those details just ahead. Plus, an upcoming event in Williamson County lets you discover the art of reading, all in the name of a good cause. We'll explain. And we did see a little bit of a cool down today. Nick is back in to tell us if he's tracking more of those colder temperatures for the week ahead. His full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. You're watching News 3 at 5. Making news tonight, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with European leaders today in the UK. This comes on the heels of a tumultuous meeting with President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance at the White House. Jen Sullivan has that story.
Can you still work with President Trump?
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky meeting with many European leaders at a summit Sunday in London, including UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, the two warmly embracing. The exchange coming less than 2 days after Zelensky's explosive Oval Office clash with President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance over the U.S.'s involvement in the Ukraine-Russia war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. We're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
I'm not playing cards.
Following the combative meeting, President Trump canceled a joint press conference with Zelensky, and the Ukrainian leader was escorted out of the White House. The meeting leaving Western allies reeling and throwing the future of the Russia-Ukraine war into deep uncertainty as the conflict enters a fourth year. Many European leaders are hopeful a peace deal can be made between Russia and Ukraine. And on Sunday, British Prime Minister Starmer said the UK, France, and perhaps other countries would work on a plan to end the war.
When a deal arises and is struck, that we stand ready, and Europe will play a big role here to make sure that that deal, that peace can be maintained.
But many Republican leaders backing Trump and accusing Zelensky of being ungrateful and uncooperative.
I think it's a big mistake, and I hope he changes his mind.
On Saturday, Zelensky and Starmer signed an agreement to accelerate $2.8 billion worth of loans to Ukraine. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Also making news tonight, Pope Francis remains in stable condition. Officials with the Vatican say he's without fever and off his ventilator. Now, they also add his prognosis remains reserved given the complexity of the clinical picture. The Pope has been hospitalized right now for 2 weeks.
And it was a really nice day across the area. We did see some below average temperatures, but overall not too bad across the area. And you can see plenty of blue skies out there in Carbondale right now. The temperature right now around that 45-degree mark, so certainly below average for this time of year. But those dew points around 16 feels like 43. Those winds pretty light and variable out there, so not having to worry about that too much. Temperatures across the area in the 40s for pretty much everyone. 46 for Paducah. We're at 45 in Cape Girardeau, 42 in Mount Vernon. Union City, you're sitting at 46 right now. The Boot Heel of Missouri sitting around those mid 40s, 48 for you in Piedmont. So all of us in those 40s. Eventually, as we head throughout the next several hours, those temperatures will drop as soon as that sun does set. We're talking temperatures in those mid 30s, eventually low 30s by the time we head towards 11, 12 o'clock tonight. And by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning, we'll be in those upper 20s across most of the region. So you'll want those jackets certainly out and about as we start the work week if you're heading out early tomorrow. The threat tracker, we're tracking those cold but calm conditions here this evening. We will be much warmer for the day tomorrow. But we'll stay dry as well. So partly cloudy conditions, sunny conditions, expecting those temperatures into the mid and upper 50s across the region. So that's certainly some nice news. And then the temperatures continue to warm as a cold front approaches from the west. Pretty powerful cold front, going to bring plenty of rain and some storms to the area on Tuesday. But right now the severe threat not looking as high across our area. The worst thing that we'd see is maybe some excess water, especially with how much water we've seen recently in terms of the flooding department. But we'll show you that here in a second. Monday, as we start the day out, maybe get a few clouds here across southern Illinois. Most of us stay sunny, and all of us should stay sunny for most of the day tomorrow. As we head through tomorrow night, though, that's when the clouds will start to move in, and then we'll watch our storm system approach us on Tuesday. Tuesday morning, we could get a little bit of an impulse here across southeastern Missouri and our western portions of southern Illinois here, where we see some of those rain showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. But it's not until later on into the evening, afternoon into the evening, where we see that main event. You can see that line of heavier downpours here denoted in those yellows, oranges, and reds moving through southeastern Missouri around 2 o'clock. This continues to push through our entire area through the evening commute. So 5 p.m. we're all seeing that rainfall. Heaviest going to be from western Kentucky through southern Illinois, from Carbondale, Mount Vernon, Harrisburg, down towards Paducah. You're seeing that heavier rainfall around that time where we'll all be heading home from work. So certainly something to keep in mind. You want to keep the umbrellas handy. You want to keep the rain jackets handy, especially for that evening commute. And you want to take it slowly out on the roadways as that heavy rainfall is coming down. Pretty quick hitter, though. It's in and out. By the time we get to 9 o'clock, some leftover showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two for our eastern counties. And then for your Wednesday, we'll have an upper level low move through our area. It'll keep the clouds around and some scattered shower chances as well. We do have a level 1 risk and a level 2 risk of severe weather across our area. Generally, that level 1 staying with us, but a higher chance down south where you might see a little more instability. Primary threat here is going to be some damaging wind gusts and maybe an isolated tornado or two, but not expecting that to be a huge deal for us. We're talking about a general 1 to 2 inches of rainfall with this system as it does push on through our region. Storm Track 3 app, certainly something you want to keep downloaded and ready to go as that storm system does push on by. Your 7-day forecast showing you, of course, plenty of clouds, plenty of showers, and even a thunderstorm or two on Tuesday. Wednesday stays cloudy and rainy, and as we head towards the end of the week, we'll start to see our temperatures go back up into those mid and upper 50s as we get more around those temperatures where we should be this time of year. That slow progression upward with our temperatures. And eventually next week around March 9th, we'll be changing those clocks as well. So getting an extra hour of sunlight. So all good news here as we head throughout the next week or so.
Pretty interesting week, or I guess weekend plus weekend to cap off this week. You go from really cold this week and then, or sorry, really warm this week.
Warm, cold for the
weekend, and then you're starting back with the heat again. So.
Yes, exactly. So that's how it goes here in the springtime.
All right. Thanks, Nick. We appreciate it. Well, new at 5, people in Cape Girardeau got to come out and have a little bit of fun this weekend. We're talking about the Play Cape event. It took place Saturday at the Osage Center when hundreds came out. Pretty cool event right here. There were games, rides, activities, and even recreation classes. Looks like everyone in attendance had a pretty fun time. Also new at 5, in the mood for some reading. Well, you might be in luck because the Ann West Lindsay District Library in Carterville is having a book sale. Here's how that works. Buy a bag for $3, fill it up with as many as the books as they have for sale as you want, then take it home. Pretty good idea. The profits all go toward the library initiatives. You have until 7 p.m. tomorrow to make that deal. In tonight's Health Minute, today is a day to raise awareness about the unique challenges faced by school-age children. It's World Teen Mental Wellness Day. Health experts say parents and caregivers play a critical role in their teenagers' emotional well-being. A CDC survey surveyed youth collected in 2021 found an increasing mental health challenges, experience of violence and suicidal thoughts and behavior among all teens, especially girls and members of the LGBTQ+ community. Experts say it's critical for parents to talk to their children about their mental health. Well, we're still in the middle of cold and flu season, not quite out of the woods in regards to that. Health experts say one of the best ways to protect yourself against getting sick is sleep. The CDC says the number of people seeking health care for these illnesses is still pretty high, but experts say prioritizing something you can do every night can actually help boost your immune system by getting more sleep. The CDC says there are other health benefits from sleep as well, including lowering the risk of chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And still ahead here on News 3 at 5, it's the night of 1,000 stars. Hollywood gearing up for the 97th Annual Academy Awards. We'll tell you what you could expect coming up in just a few minutes, right here on News 3 at 5. Should we cut C4? That's 27 seconds. Is that all right? Okay, so if we can kill C4, thanks. I wrote that down here. That should put us like 3 seconds heavy now, so Nick can get one last word in tonight. One last word for Nick. Are you still having to post to the web? 2 minutes, Nick. I don't know if you heard that. Now to our Consumer Watch tonight. You may have run into trouble if you've attempted to access Microsoft 365 Office or Outlook on Saturday. The company said outages were reported in the New York City and Toronto areas. Users could not connect to the server. The problem was resolved within a couple of hours, but for the time being, it's still unclear what caused all of those outages. Hollywood's biggest night is set to begin. The 97th Academy Awards will recognize the best and brightest in the movies. ABC's Jacqueline Lee is in Los Angeles for us, where the ceremony will kick off in just about an hour.
The red carpet is ready to welcome this year's Oscar nominees to the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles. Conan O'Brien hosting the 97th Academy Awards, his first time taking the reins as host.
It's a tricky show. It's a tricky time. I'm going to give it my best shot. And if it doesn't work out, you will never see me again.
The Academy looking to strike the right chord in the wake of last month's devastating wildfires in Los Angeles.
They're going to honor the first responders and then also celebrate the movies, because that's what brings a lot of people to the Academy.
Hey, I'm Andy. A lot of new faces getting Oscar nods this year. 5 newcomers in the Best Director category. And in the acting categories, 13 first-time nominees.
I'm fine.
Among them, Demi Moore, who after more than 40 years in the business, brought home the Golden Globe for Best Actress for her performance in The Substance.
This is the first time I've ever won anything as an actor.
And Zoe Saldana considered the frontrunner for Best Supporting Actress after winning both the Golden Globe and the SAG Award for her performance in Emilia Perez.
¿No piensas? De vez en cuando.
I'm so grateful because it says a lot about us as people that, one, we're looking for things that are fresh and different and outside boxes.
Timothée Chalamet, at 29 years old, is the youngest actor to receive 2 Best Actor nominations since James Dean. This one for his portrayal of Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown.
I've never pushed myself so much as an actor as far as stretching to this man's voice, the way he carried himself.
Emilia Perez leading the pack with 13 Oscar nods. Honora and The Brutalist, each with 10.
This is one of the most unpredictable years that I've ever covered, and it's the year without a frontrunner. I think there's a scenario where you see 6 or 7 movies win 2 Oscars apiece.
One thing this year's ceremony will not have is live performances from the Best Original Song nominees. However, the show's producers tell us there will be performances from Wicked's Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, Doja Cat, Ray, as well as Blackpink's Lisa. From the red carpet at the Oscars, Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Hollywood.
And just a reminder, you can watch the Oscars tonight right here on WSIL News 3. Our coverage will kick off in just about a half hour or so, around 6 o'clock. And before we go tonight, let's get one final check of weather from Nick.
Yeah, we got those temperatures cooling down nicely as that sun does begin to set. We'll have those temperatures quickly in the 40s, 30s, and eventually 20s as you head to tomorrow morning. We stay clear throughout the night, and those winds will remain light and variable, so expect to use those jackets tonight and through the day tomorrow morning. Now, as we head to the 7-day forecast, a lot of clouds and even showers in place here for the beginning of the week. Cloudy tomorrow, staying dry, but temperatures warming up into the upper 50s, 60s by Tuesday. We'll have that cold front moving by in the afternoon and evening, giving us some widespread areas of heavier rainfall, even a few thunderstorms mixed in. Not expecting a tremendously big severe weather threat, but will be plenty windy for Tuesday and even Wednesday. Looking like some pretty strong wind gusts behind this system, some leftover rainfall there, and then things really start to clear out towards the end of the week. We'll see more sunshine. Temperatures will be initially cooler, but then back into those upper 50s, mid 50s by the time we head towards next weekend. So overall, a messy start to the week, but we should be finishing it out pretty nicely towards the end.
All right, we'll keep that in mind. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Nick.
Yeah.
That does it for us tonight on News 3 at 5. We'll see you back here at 10. Don't forget the Oscars special edition coming your way tonight at 6.
coming up on News 3 at 10.
Caught on camera tonight, a Missouri State Highway Patrol officer uses his cruiser to stop a wrong-way driver. We'll show you that incredible footage and the fallout coming up.
.455, 1050.